What is happening, guys? Mike here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to talk about the Dynamite Clay from By Vilain. This is one that I definitely think does not get as much attention as it should, and I'm guilty of this myself. I'm guilty of not talking about it as much as I probably should. So today we are going to be talking all about the Dynamite Clay. We're going to be going through all the cool stuff that I enjoy about it. I'm just going to, represent the product, if you will. In other words, I just want to give it some of the love that I think it deserves. This is Product Spotlight Dynamite Clay. Alright, so Dynamite Clay. Man, I tell you, I have been using this product for a long time. I remember exactly where I was actually when I found out this was coming out, when this was being released by Vilain. I was working at a cell phone store actually, and on days where the store was just completely dead, nobody was coming in, we would just hang out and usually watch YouTube until someone came in. And this was obviously all before I started my channel. Actually, it was right at the beginning of me getting back into hairstyling and, growing my hair out from the high and tight that I had from the army. And, I was just kind of getting back into things, and I'd sit there and I'd watch slikhaartv amongst some other people like Jordan O'Brien and things like that. I would just sit and kind of just browse YouTube. And as you guys know that have been with me here on the channel for a while, their products on slikhaartv were some of the first that I bought ever. Some of the first non-grocery store products that I bought ever and started using myself. So I've used By Vilain and, this and Gold Digger and Silver Fox quite a bit. And on top of that, as most of you also know, the brand recently did a reformulation, so everything kind of changed also. So I've got this long history with the brand, but everything also seems kind of new as well since they made these formula changes. So it's been a lot of fun to kind of reacquaint myself with the products that I've been using for a really long time. And when it comes to Dynamite Clay specifically, I've already discussed this and the other reformulations in past videos, so I'm not gonna drill that into you guys. I'm not gonna go through a full review on it. I'm gonna talk to you guys about how I like to use the Dynamite Clay. In other words, some of the things that I do with it, some of the things I like about it, some of the stuff that I thought was worth focusing on. And I also wanted to take another look at this, or take a brief look at it, throwing into the Product Spotlight series, because I feel like some of you still have questions on how to use it, or what its ability is, or some of you say it's too sticky, some of you say it's too dry, some of you say I don't get anything out of it. But I'm not going to make any promises that I'm going to be able to help some of you. I really don't ever claim to be able to fix any actual problem with people, because I'm not in the room with you when you're trying to style. All I can do is show you how it works for me, how I use it, and hopefully that will help some of you. Let's get started. Here we go. Today, the spotlight is on the Dynamite Clay from By Vilain, and as we already know, this is a uniquely formulated styling product that is designed to add texture to lifeless hair and give it a fuller appearance. It does this through a unique combination of the formula and the ingredients, and through that, we have a strong hold with a gritty matte finish. Now, like I said a second ago, I mainly am focusing on how I use the product, but I thought it would also kind of be cool to do something that with the product that I know it can do, but not necessarily something that I do every day. And I know that kind of sounds confusing. I kind of just confused myself when I said it, but it'll all make sense here in a minute. So let's go ahead and start first with how I use the Dynamite Clay. It all starts with clean, dry hair. That's right, just clean, dry hair. No pre-stylers needed for this demo. Here, the Dynamite Clay is more than enough for what I'm trying to do here. And it all starts with just a couple scoops. I'm gonna run a couple of scoops of the Dynamite Clay through my hair, focus focusing as usual on getting it into the roots, and then the second scoop, I'll just go all over. I just like to get it all over, get it all in there. I'm not really focusing on anything other than just spreading it around my hair. A style that I've been going with lately, and one that I specifically like to do with this clay, is one that's kind of a combination of somewhat messy and somewhat neat. It's not really one or the other. I really don't have another choice on that also. I think it would look pretty stupid otherwise with my sides being, you know, they're a little bit long and I have a low fade right now. So if I just left the sides, you know, looking all messy, it would just be kind of stupid really. But on the top, I do like to roll with some high volume and a kind of messy look. It's not too messy, I guess, but I don't make much of an effort to really polish it up. I just kind of move it around until I think it looks good. As far as tools go, I usually use my regular comb on the sides, and then I use my wide tooth comb on the top, which works really great with the dryness of the clay. Also, if you don't know already, these are both By Vilain combs as well, and they are by far my favorite. They work very well. Now let's talk about this second demo, which, if you remember, I said was something that I know works with the Dynamite Clay, but is not something that I normally do all the time. It's hardly something I ever do actually, because I'm an everyday washer, so I wash my hair every day. So we're gonna talk about second day styling. Again, this is something that I hardly ever do because I'm an everyday washer, but this is something that I know the Dynamite Clay can do, so I'm gonna demo this for you, because while I'm an everyday washer, you may not be. Some of you may not be everyday washers. Some of you may be really looking for a clay that does well in second day, so I figured this might help some of you out. Again, I'm just trying to help you guys here. I'm trying to present the great qualities of this clay to you guys, so let's talk about second clay styling with the Dynamite Clay. Here's a look at my hair the morning after doing that exact demo you just saw with the Dynamite Clay. Yep, this is not only bedhead, but I think I even wore a hat for a period of time, you know, somewhere in there. But this is second day hair. Kind of crazy. There's not a lot of dryness left inside there. You can see some of the wax somewhat there, and if you could feel my hair, you could feel it providing some stickiness still. Mostly what I see here is something that's gotten a bit oily. That's not from the clay, that's just natural for me, which is why I wash my hair every day. But here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna fix this using just the Dynamite Clay. The idea here is that the clays are going to act as a bit of a rejuvenator and refresh everything as if it's new. I mean, obviously it's not going to look as fresh as if I just washed my hair, but it will look good. And for those of you that need to get up and refresh the style in a hurry and just run out the door, maybe you don't have time to wash your hair, or maybe you don't want to wash your hair, you can see that working in just a couple more scoops of this clay, not a lot, I didn't want to overpower it, I just worked in just a couple small scoops. Those clays went to work, it kind of refreshed it, rejuvenated. I think it looks a lot better than what it did to begin with, so hopefully this will work for you as well as it works for me. You know, really, I think that is one thing that I think a lot of people don't know about this clay still, that it not only works extremely well, but that it works on second day hair as well. Now that being said, I still know a lot of people complain about the tug, about the dryness. You know, it's got too much tug for me and all that good stuff. It's gonna have some tug. It's a dry product. It's a dry clay. It's gonna have some tug there when you apply it. And really some of that tug is needed to get the result that this clay provides. And you know, I kind of laugh a little bit sometimes when people comment that the tug was horrible or it was unbearable. They make it seem like this clay was, you know, reaching out of the jar with a claw and just scalping them. You know, it's really dramatic, and I think people need to just expect and appreciate some of the tug because it's giving you a great hold, a great finish. Those clays are dry and you may feel a little bit of tug in there, but you're gonna get that great hold, you're gonna get great endurance, and it's gonna give you some things that it wouldn't normally give you if it didn't have some of that dryness and some of that tug. I come to appreciate it. I come to look for it in other products even. But again, there are some ways to try to minimize it, some ways to try to make it a little easier, even a little better. I did just upload a video about eliminating some tug through the process of making your hair as smooth as you possibly can, and I think that really works. I think it really does help you decrease some of that tug and get the product to spread a little more evenly into your hair and get more out of each scoop. Now, it won't eliminate it completely. I said that in the video. It's not gonna, you know, make it go away completely. You have to be okay with some of the tug. I mean, that's just kind of a give and take with this one, but I think the tug is worth it. I keep saying that. I think the tug is worth it. I love it. I mean, I wouldn't change it. If I had the opportunity to change the Dynamite Clay, I would not take away the dryness, because I think that's kind of what makes it Dynamite Clay. I think that's what makes Dynamite Clay Dynamite Clay. The fact that it's dry. It's got that little bit of tug in there because it's gonna add in that dryness, give you the texture, give you the finish. I wouldn't change it at all. I think they did a great job, and it's a great clay. It really is. As always though, if you would like to check out the Dynamite Clay or any of the By Vilain products, actually you can find them at the Slick Hair shop, and that includes the tools that I used in this video too. I really love those combs. I've said it a million times. I do have a discount code actually as well for you guys. It's included in every video, so remember to use that. Save yourself some money. There's no sense in paying full price when you can save yourself a little bit of money. I do it as much as I can myself, so I'm always interested in helping you guys do it as well. That's always there for those of you that are interested. And with that, I will say thank you very much for stopping by the channel today. That is it for this episode of Product Spotlight. I really appreciate you guys stopping by and checking out this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure you drop me a like and a comment. And if you haven't yet subscribed, you for sure need to do that. Thank you once again. I will see you guys right back here on the channel again very soon. And until then, yo, take it easy. I'll see you next time.